Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping into a real masterclass in political strategy that went down over 2,000 years ago. It's an amazing story about how a small nation played an incredibly smart hand in a very, very dangerous game.
So, here's the big question we're tackling. How can a smaller nation, caught right in the middle of two warring giants, turn that crisis into its single greatest opportunity? Well, we're about to see exactly how one leader played two rival kings against each other to completely secure his people's future. Okay, before we dive in, let's get our key players straight, because their fates are about to get seriously tangled up. First, you've got Jonathan, the incredibly shrewd leader of Judea. Then there's Demetrius, the king who's trying to hang on to his throne, and challenging him is Alexander, an ambitious up-and-comer. Watching all this from the side is the powerful King Ptolemy of Egypt, and last but not least, a general named Apollonius, who's going to play a big role later. Got it?
Good.
So our story is going to unfold in 6 key parts. We'll start with the war for the throne, then watch a bidding war break out for a whole nation's loyalty, see a crucial deal get made, and then watch as a new alliance is forged, and then test it on the battlefield. All this ultimately creates a brand new power broker in the region. Let's get into it.
All right, let's set the stage. Picture this. It's the 160th year of the Seleucid era. A challenger, this guy named Alexander, lands his forces and takes the key city of Ptolemais. Just like that, with one move, he ignites a full-blown civil war against the ruling king Demetrius. The prize? The entire empire. Demetrius, the current king, immediately sees the writing on the wall. He knows that the Jewish leader, Jonathan, and his forces in Judea are perfectly positioned to be the deciding factor, the crucial swing state in this war. So he tries to get ahead of the game. He rushes a letter to Jonathan, full of friendly words, hoping to lock down his allegiance before Alexander can even make an offer. And that move right there kicks off an absolutely incredible bidding war. With Judea's support suddenly up for grabs, both kings start making these increasingly generous, almost desperate offers to win Jonathan over. It turns into a high-stakes, geopolitical auction for loyalty. Alexander makes the first move. He offers Jonathan the super prestigious title of High Priest, a role with immense religious and political power. He also names him a king's friend, which is an official title that puts him in the king's inner circle. And to seal the deal, he sends the symbols of royalty, a purple robe and a golden crown. This is a serious, legitimate offer. And Jonathan? He doesn't hesitate for a second. He sees his chance and he absolutely grabs it. During the Feast of the Tabernacles, which is a major religious festival, he puts on the holy robes for the very first time. I mean, this is a huge public statement. He's not just accepting the job, he's signaling his new alliance with Alexander to everyone, all while gathering his forces.
Well, when Demetrius hears about this, he realizes he's been completely outplayed and basically panics. He rushes out this staggering counteroffer. I mean, just look at this list. Complete tax freedom, more territory. He'll pay for 30,000 Jewish soldiers in his own army, direct cash payments from his treasury, and almost total political autonomy. He is basically offering them everything short of a new name. Okay, so Jonathan has 2 offers on the table. One is for honor and legitimacy. The other is for almost unbelievable financial and political freedom. Now, you'd think the choice is obvious, right? But Jonathan makes a call that seems totally counterintuitive, but it's all rooted in very recent and very painful history. And here it is. This is the absolute core of the decision. Despite that mind-blowing offer from Demetrius, the people didn't believe a single word of it. Why? Because, as the text says, they remembered the great evil he'd already inflicted on them. His credibility was completely shot. And so, in the end, trust turns out to be way more valuable than promises. Jonathan sticks with Alexander, the guy who made the first respectful offer. Their combined forces go up against Demetrius on the battlefield. Demetrius's army breaks and runs, and by the end of the day, the king is dead. The civil war? It's over. So let's move into the aftermath. How does Jonathan's new position in the world really take shape? I mean, his strategic gamble paid off big time, but what does that actually look like? Well, 2 years later, the new king Alexander solidifies his power by marrying Cleopatra, the daughter of the king of Egypt. And who's on the VIP guest list? Jonathan. He's right there rubbing shoulders with the 2 most powerful kings in the region. When some of his old enemies try to stir up trouble and accuse him, Alexander just shuts them down, has Jonathan dressed in his own royal purple, and publicly promotes him to a duke. But, of course, peace doesn't last long. 3 years later, the son of the king they defeated, Demetrius, shows up from Crete to take back his father's throne.
And you can guess who his first target is. Jonathan, the man who helped kick his dad out.
The new Demetrius's general, Apollonius, sends a direct challenge to Jonathan. It's classic military trash talk. He mocks him, taunting him for hiding out in the mountains, and dares him to come down and fight on the open plain. Now, this is a classic trap. He's trying to lure Jonathan onto ground that favors his own cavalry.
But Jonathan is way too smart for that. This right here is tactical genius. He accepts the challenge, but on his own terms. First, he marches out and takes the city of Joppa. Then, as he moves toward Apollonius, he correctly figures there's an ambush waiting. Instead of freaking out, he orders his men to form a solid defensive line and just take it. For hours, from morning till night, they soak up the enemy attack until the ambusher's horses are totally worn out. And only then does his brother, Simon, lead a counterattack on the exhausted enemy, who immediately break and run for their lives. And the victory is just overwhelming. Jonathan chases down the fleeing army and sets fire to their city, even the temple where they tried to hide. All told, 8,000 enemy soldiers are killed. It is a brutal, decisive win that proves Jonathan isn't just a savvy politician. He is a seriously formidable military commander.
So, what does a victory like this mean for Jonathan and Judea? Well, he proved his loyalty, he proved his skill in battle, and now it's time to cash in. The rewards are about to get even bigger.
King Alexander is absolutely thrilled. He honors Jonathan even more, sending him a golden buckle. Now, this is a gift specifically reserved for people considered to be of royal blood. And on top of that, he just gives him an entire city and all its lands. Jonathan has successfully turned Judea from a pawn into a queen on the chessboard.
So, by masterfully playing a terrible hand, Jonathan lifted his nation to new heights of power and prestige. But that leaves us with this one big, lingering question. In becoming a kingmaker, did he actually secure a safe future for his people, or did he just make Judea a more valuable prize, raising the stakes for the next war that we saw to come?